Welcome to another episode of Football Scientific with me, Aaron Sauter. I'm a writer for the UFL News Hub, and I cover the San Antonio Brahmas and the UFL. I also cover the Hamilton Tiger Cats and the CFL on CFL News Hub. I also cover the Indoor Football League, the IFL. I also cover the NAL, the National Arena League, and I cover the ELF, European League of Football. Today, I'm joined by my co-host, Timmy the Trash Talking Tiger Shark. What up, y'all? This is Timmy the Trash Talking Tiger Shark. He is here today. Timmy, how's your day been going?
My day has been fire. I've been swimming around, eating some fish, and checking out some chum, and really thinking about eating some swimmers and surfers, you know. I haven't done it, but I thought about it.
All right, well, you thought about eating some surfers. That's not too cool, Timmy. You shouldn't be eating surfers. But today, Timmy, did you know about the big news today?
I did know about the big news. The Bengals are finally making some moves.
Yes, the Bengals are finally making some moves. So we're going to kick it off today with NFL news. Today we'll be joined by our special guest, Tyler the Tiger, to talk about the Bengals.
What up, Bengals? You're making some moves. I'm finally glad to see you're making some moves, Bengals. You get a round of applause. Thank you.
All right, so let's get into it, Tyler.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's get right into it. Okay, read along. All right, so first, the Houston Texans, they have re-signed quarterback Derek Stingley Jr. to a 3-year contract for $90 million with $89 million guaranteed. Why didn't they just guarantee all $90 million of it? They guaranteed $89 million of it and not $90 million of it? Why guarantee $89 million if you're not going to guarantee $90 million of it? Come on, Houston Texans, make it make sense.
Make it make sense, yo!
Yeah, make it make sense, man. He is now the highest paid defensive back in NFL history. Okay, last year he started 17 games. He deflected 18 passes. He had 5 interceptions. He allowed the lowest pass quarterback rating, 56.9, lowest QBR in the league, 56.9. He also had the lowest completion percentage against him, 45%. Passes complete against him, okay. Derek Stingley is an all-star. He's blowing it up. He's going to get paid finally. But only $1 million is not going to be guaranteed.
$1 million is not guaranteed. Why are they doing that? Why are they shortening $1 million if he doesn't have incentives?
That's a weird contract, Tyler. I don't know. All right, and then the really big news, the Cincinnati Bengals last night, they decided to finally sign wide receiver Ja'Marr Chase, okay, to a 4-year, $161 million extension. They signed wide receiver Tee Higgins to a 4-year, $115 million extension, which defines Ja'Marr Chase as the number 1 receiver for sure for the Bengals, and Tee Higgins as the number 2 receiver for the Bengals. Tee Higgins is the highest paid number 2 receiver. That's cool. And Ja'Marr Chase is the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL.
Wow. I guess Ja'Marr Chase is way more valuable than Tee Higgins.
I guess he is. He's also not hurt nearly as often as Tee Higgins. The question is, what's going to happen now?
What's going to happen now? I guess the job is done. The Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl.
Maybe, but maybe not, Tyler. Last year they had Ja'Marr Chase, Tee Higgins, Joe Burrow. They even had Trey Hendrickson. They had everything they have right now. And they didn't make the playoffs. What? They didn't make the stupid playoffs? Come on. So how is it going to be any different? You now pay these guys loads of money. You use tons of your resources. What's going to make you make the playoffs now? You're going to come out scoring a bunch of points, but you have no defense.
They didn't re-sign Trey Hendrickson.
That's right. They have not yet re-signed Trey Hendrickson. A defensive end that led the league in sacks. I was going to say tackles.
It's sacks, man. Get it right.
Okay, Tyler, quit being mean to me, okay? Quit being mean to me. So their offense will be loaded except they're lacking a
running back. They don't have a running back. No feature back, yo.
And you're not going to win in the playoffs without a running back, especially in Cincinnati. What are they thinking?
What are they thinking?
They're thinking of going on the cheap still. They're paying a few guys a lot of money.
That's not like them.
That's not like them because usually they're a low-budget team.
$161 million is not low budget.
That's true. It's not low budget. But they put all the resources and receivers in the quarterback. So now, how's the rest of the team going to be able around them? They still don't have a running back. Someone mentioned, well, at least they got Tee Higgins, and they got Ja'Marr Chase and Joe Burrow. Last time they had them all together healthy, they went to the Super Bowl. Yeah, but they had Joe Mixon. picking up yards, picking up short yardage gains. Now they have Joe Mixon, and they have yet to replace him. The offensive line's still garbage. How is Joe Burrow not going to get hit all the time still? What's happening, Bengals? It still doesn't make sense. But you paid some guys. They finally paid someone. But it still doesn't make sense. Well, I guess we're going to see what they do in the draft. We'll take a look at their draft strategy here in a few days maybe. But it's frustrating to be a Bengals fan. You see them make some good moves. But you also see them not have a plan. No plan. Just don't want to lose people. They want to keep people coming to the game. Big offense, but no defense. Big offense, but losing every game. Maybe not every game. Well, maybe they'll win 8 games. Maybe 9. Maybe 9 games. They might make the playoffs. Maybe. And we'll see what they do. Without a running game, they're not going to win the playoffs. No playoff wins without a running game. That's right, Tyler. Okay, and other news, the New York Giants signed quarterback Jameis Winston. Oh, no, not yet. They have not yet signed Joe. That's coming up in the future. We're seeing into the future, Tyler. Into the future. Yes, we're seeing into the future. Jameis Winston went and visited the New York Giants. He's going to go visit them tomorrow. That's right. He's going to go visit the Giants tomorrow. I bet he signs with them. What's that mean about Aaron Rodgers? I don't know what that means about Aaron Rodgers. The Steelers want to sign him to a 1-year contract. He wants 2 years for $90 million. That would be stupid. If anyone pays that to Aaron Rodgers, they deserve to get fired. The Giants might do it because they have some people that are ready to get fired. That's right. Okay. Well, Jameis Winston's going to visit them. We'll see how it goes. Is that going to be a starting quarterback? No, he's not a starting quarterback. He's a backup at best. Yeah, and he throws as many interceptions as he does touchdowns. He fits in with the Giants, honestly. Okay. Boop. Goodbye, Bengals, for now. We got more Bengals news in a second. Let's go! Okay, next, the Baltimore Ravens. They have kept tight end Mark Andrews. He took a lot of heat in the playoff game against the Bills because he dropped the game-winning, game-tying pass in the end zone. He dropped it. And people were like, man, Mark Andrews is garbage. They should move on him. They should move him along. But they're keeping him, and he just earned a $4 million roster bonus, so they're keeping him for another year. Okay, so Ravens fans expect to see Mark Andrews dropping more passes this year coming up in 2025. Pittsburgh Steelers have signed backup defensive tackle Daniel Ayale. Okay, he got a contract. He's been playing for the Patriots for the last 2 years. Pretty productive for a D tackle. Pretty productive. The last series with the Patriots, he had 52 tackles, 1.0 sacks. Now remember, in this time the Patriots have not been very good. So they've played a lot of defense, which is probably one reason he has 52 tackles. Usually if a guy's leading the league in tackles, it's not good. It's because you're playing defense a lot. Okay? But he's with the Steelers now. He's made backup for them most likely. Houston Texans have signed defensive tackle Jalen Holmes. He's going to be another backup lineman. He's quite a bit less productive than Ukulele. Jalen Holmes, 2024, he had 11 tackles, 2 sacks. Okay, he was with the Washington Commanders. Not outstanding, but decent. The Texans have been bulking up on defensive backs, so maybe they're hoping to get some coverage sacks or something. Okay, he might be able to do that. Back to the Bengals. The Bengals have signed a linebacker, Oren Burks. Another linebacker? Yeah, another linebacker, Oren Burks, to a 2-year contract. Okay, that's going to give him a payday. He's pretty consistent. But where's his sleeve? Defensive end Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson is awesome. Yeah, Owen Burks probably isn't that all. He played for Philly last year. I mean, maybe he's pretty good. But he only played in the postseason games. So when he got hurt, he played in the postseason games. Okay, so it's not like he was a starter for the Philadelphia Eagles. They're paying him instead of paying Trey Hendrickson. Hey, Hendrickson wants $32 million. That's right. He wants to break the bank too. They got $29.5 million left in their salary cap. Maybe he'll take $29.5 million, and then they got to restructure some so they can sign their draft picks. But they're not thinking about their draft picks right now. Okay, those guys are small rookie contracts, but you still got to factor that into your salary cap. That they break the bank with Trey Hendrickson. What you gonna do? You've maxed out your contracts. Bad business plan. I guess we're all offense going forward. I guess we're all off. Oren Burks is there. He came from Philly. Maybe he'll win a Super Bowl with the Bengals.
What?
Yep, maybe a Super Bowl with the Bengals this year.
I think I just peed myself.
Oh man, my lap's all wet. All right, New England Patriots. They're rumored to be interested in trading quarterback Joe Milton. He's their number 3 quarterback, backup quarterback, whatever you want to call him. They're looking to trade him. If anyone wants quarterback Joe Milton, they're like, yo, we will give you Joe Milton for a 3rd-round pick. Joe Milton, if you remember, he played for UCF, Central Florida Golden Knights. He was pretty good for them. He's pretty good. He's nothing world-beating. He got drafted by the Patriots. They're like, hey, we'll give him away for a 3rd-round pick. If you're interested, let us know. All right. If you're interested, let them know. I'm not interested. No Joe Milton for me. I've had enough of Joe Milton. Ew. I haven't had Joe Milton. Seattle Seahawks. They have former Dallas Cowboys wide receiver coming in to visit, Michael Gallup. Okay, he decided to retire, but now he's thinking about making an NFL comeback because the Seattle Seahawks need some help at receiver after letting go of DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. His career stats, he has 266 catches for 3,744 yards and 21 touchdowns. That's pretty good. His last year playing was 2023 with the Raiders. He had 34 catches for 418 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's not as good. He played for the Raiders, though. That's right, he played for the Raiders. So maybe that cut into his love for football, and that's why he retired. He's like, I'm not any good anymore. But then he looked at his quarterback. He's like, well, he's not very good anymore. It never was. Maybe I should retire. He retired, but now he's like, the Seattle Seahawks. They got a quarterback, Sam Darnold. Maybe I can do a comeback. I could still be awesome. We'll see. He's only 29 years old, so maybe. Okay. Philadelphia Eagles. They have signed a pass rusher, Howie Roseman. Boom. He's been building the championship team there. He's been making moves. He decided to bring in a pass rusher from the New York Giants, Azeez Ojulari, for a $4 million one-year contract, $4 million. It's a prove-it contract. Last year he played 11 games for the Giants. That's 6 sacks, 7 tackles. Not world-beating. But he gets a prove-it contract with the Eagles. If he blows it up, they may keep him. They may extend him and give him more money. But if he does, it's a $4 million deal for 1 year. There's no risk, really, by the Eagles. They're trying to repeat. Okay, the Minnesota Vikings have released veteran center Garrett Bradbury. They tried to trade him very similar to the Commanders trying to change Jonathan Allen. No takers. But for Jonathan Allen, that worked out because he broke the bank for $60 million for 3 years for the Vikings. Good for them. Yeah, good for them. Hopefully they stink, man. But Garrett Bradbury, he's gone. He's looking for a job now. He's a center. I've heard he's not the best center in the league, though. We'll see. Okay. So he might be a good interior guard, though, like interior lineman. So someone may pick him up for a cheap price. You can get him real cheap right now because he's been released. So back up like $1 million deal. Okay. You know who needs him? The Bengals. I hope the Bengals pick up Garrett Bradbury for a guard position for $1 million. If I was a GM of the Bengals, you are not. I am not. But if I was, I'd be offering Garrett Bradbury $1 million for a year, a prove-it contract to come to Cincinnati and prove he still has what it takes to play on the inside of the line. He won't be our center. He sucks at center. He does suck at center. But he could be a good guard, and I'd love to give him a chance if I was the Bengals GM. Okay? All right. Next, Philadelphia Eagles have reworked the contract of all-star tackle Lane Johnson. They extended him to 2027. They decided to tack on $8 million to a guarantee to his contract. That's already worth $30 million. This is going to put him at $48 million over the next 2 seasons. That's a lot. That's $24 million a season for the next 2 seasons for Lane Johnson. I guess having a great year winning the Super Bowl was really important for Lane Johnson. He's an awesome left tackle. They used to get paid for reals, and he's getting paid for reals now, extended by the Eagles. Bengals should take notes. When you have a guy that comes out and helps you win, you pay them lots of money. Lots of money. But maybe if you have guys that didn't help you win, you should think about trading Tee Higgins. Trade Tee Higgins. Get some picks out of that, okay? Trade Tee Higgins. But they're not going to because they don't make good decisions. Bad decisions. Make me your GM. will win a Super Bowl. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Oh, that does it for the NFL news. And the UFL things are happening. We're still in training camp. We're in week 3 of training camp. Hopefully we get to end of training camp next week. I'm going to do a series of shorts about the UFL teams like I'm doing for the IFL teams this week with the Laser Focus series, focusing with laser focus on each of the IFL teams before they play their week 1 games this week. A reminder, on Thursday I'll be doing picks for the NAL and IFL games. It'll be week 3 of the NAL and week 1 of the IFL. We're going to see how I do there. I usually do pretty well. But in the UFL, which starts next week, the 28th, the first games for them, Deon Padal Brown, he got released by DC yesterday. He's been re-signed by the Houston Roughnecks, okay? Houston Roughnecks, before he left town, left Arlington. They're all hanging out in Arlington practicing. Houston Roughnecks like, we'll take you. 2023, last time he played for the DC Defenders, he had 19 tackles, 2.5 sacks, which is a decent year for a defensive end, okay? Wide receiver Lance Lenoir, he was with the Michigan Panthers recently in the USFL. He's decided to retire. He's called it quits. He's had enough of playing spring football. In 2022, for the Panthers, he went through and had 583 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. The Michigan Panthers, speaking of the Panthers, they have signed kicker Chris Blewett, who's bounced around the spring leagues, bounced around NFL a little bit, okay? They brought him in to compete with their kicker they currently have. They're not happy with their kicker. Jake Bates was their kicker last year. He went on to the Detroit Lions. He's not coming back, yo. They're trying to find someone to compete with to get a kicker. They don't like their kicker currently. They don't like their kicker. No, they don't. But they probably win a bunch of games with a kicker. James Larson, UFL Insider, had an interview with the linebacker coach of Michigan Panthers, Christian Runza, and he said edge player Levi Bell, who's one of their better edge players, is up to 290 pounds. They're giving him some time at defensive tackle now, see if they can stack their D-line. Traditionally, the Panthers have a strong defensive line, strong offensive line, and decent offensive skills players. Horrible defensive backfield. They're probably keeping that mix. It sounds like they're trying to maintain a strong D-line, strong O-line. What keeps them from winning championships is definitely the defensive backfield and their quarterback position. I don't see a lot of upgrades there. I don't see them getting a lot better. I still have them as my number 4 team in the UFL. Number 4, they should be in the playoffs, okay? All right. Boom. All right. Last, we got the CFL, and announcement for the CFL. They're going to have their combine coming up March 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Let's go prospects. Yeah, let's go prospects. The CFL has a strange but really effective combine setup. They do a 3-day combine. They do their measurables and drill work. Boom. They do their testing. Boom. And then for 2 days, they have 2-a-day practices with a all-star coaching staff from teams from all over the league, and you basically coach up your dudes, okay? So they announced the offensive coordinator for that staff. They'll be running the offensive portions of the CFL Combine 2 days. It will be Mike Miller, who's the quarterback coach of the Toronto Argonauts. He'll be the offensive coordinator. Brent Monson, who's the new defensive coordinator of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, will be the D coordinator of the CFL Combine. That should give the Tiger Cats a good chance to evaluate the defensive talent. They need to make some defensive moves. They need to bring in some young Canadian talent and really max out this draft. That'd be great, and they're going to have first eye accounts because Brent Monson's going to be there. What I like about the CFL draft is that unlike the NFL draft, it's not just testing and throwing in your shorts. They put on the pads. They practice for real. They play offense and defense. They do the whole thing. That's right, Timmy. They do the whole thing. Also, the coaches get to coach them. So it's a lot like a combination of the NFL Combine and the Senior Bowl put together, okay? I think it's a really effective combination. I kind of wish the NFL would go to that setup. You know, why do they not go to that setup? Well, because 75 players are at the CFL Combine and like 300 players roughly are at the NFL Combine, probably 215 or something, I don't know. But that's way too many players to do that with. And, all the ESPN hype and stuff. CFL Combine seems a lot more effective for evaluating talent and letting your coaches see people. But people call, Pat McAfee, whoever that guy is, punter for the Colts. Who cares what his analysis is? I don't care. But Aaron Rodgers does, and he's famous and such. I'm not famous. Feel like the CFL has a lot of bad ideas. But I think its combine situation is much better. It's much better than the NFL Combine. And people wouldn't sit out all the time like Shedeur Sanders and stuff because they have nothing to get Ashton Jinty. Okay? Boom! Another thing happened with the CFL. Canadian wide receiver Nate Behar has announced his retirement. He's had enough of the CFL. He's a Canadian, so he's going to hang out, Edmonton Elks have signed American defensive back Christopher Jackson. He played for Marshall. Okay, the BC Lions signed 3 Americans today. They signed American defensive back Miles Brooks. He played at Louisiana Tech. They signed American offensive lineman Ulumo MJL. He played for the Washington Huskies in college. And we have American defensive tackle Xavier Henderson, who played at Texas A&M Kingsville, Division II team. A lot of times the CFL, college football in Canada, youth sports football is roughly equivalent to Division II football. So a lot of your Canadian players basically come to the CFL with a Division II background. And then the American players tend to be either former NFL guys, similar to the UFL, or they're, FBS players who couldn't make it to the NFL. Either way, it's a little bit better than Division II football, I would say. I would say the CFL is, on par. Definitely, I think it's better than the UFL in terms of gameplay. The UFL may have more talent, but I think the CFL has a better game. I think 3-down football is compelling to watch. It's fun. Teams are never out of the game, really, unless the team's really bad and turn the ball over a ton. 3-down football is fun. There was a push 2 years ago to get rid of 3-down football, make it 4-down football. And that would have killed the league, I think. Who wants to watch Canadian football when it's 4-down football? You can watch UFL, NFL, European League of Football. You watch a bunch of competitors. But they're only with 3-down football. This was literally the original setup of football, is that 3-down situation. And it's way more fun. In my opinion, it's way more fun, okay? Also, I like the waggle, the forward motion. I like that about the indoor game, too. It gets people open. It makes the game crazy. I like crazy football. I used to love the WAC. I used to love the WAC conference. The WAC conference used to be awesome. Like Hawaii and BYU and Wyoming. I really liked watching that type of college football. A lot of people did. A lot of people like, especially where I am from, the Deep South, the SEC rules a day. I just found SEC football to be like not as good NFL football. It's very boring. That's still the case. Big Ten, I used to live in Indiana. The Big Ten, it's kind of boring. Okay? There's a little bit more of a spread aspect to a lot of the Big Ten teams than in the SEC. But I found that WAC was a really fun league to watch. I think Mountain West is similar, but they're kind of a power version of the WAC. That's just a weird diversion down the rabbit hole. I guess the bigger thing is today, the Cincinnati Bengals, they have re-signed Jamar Chase and Tee Higgins and brought in Oren Burks. That's all good. That is all good. And they could be getting better, hopefully, in the near future. Maybe they'll win a playoff game. Hopefully we'll go back to the Super Bowl. Maybe we can win a Super Bowl for once. The two teams I really like, the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals, have never won a Super Bowl. So it'd be nice to see one of those win the Super Bowl. Okay. Timmy, do you have anything to add?
I got nothing to add right now, but I'm thinking about it.
Check out our football scientific laser focus videos. I'm going through team previews, very short team previews of the IFL teams. They start playing on Friday. I'll be going through my predictions for the NAL and IFL. You can bet on the IFL on DraftKings, unlike the NAL. I hope to go undefeated this week with my picks. I hopefully go 5-0 with the NAL and IFL can combine. And next week we're looking at the start of the UFL's first week. So there's going to be a lot of things to talk about with the UFL. I have some power ranking stuff going on that I may talk about the next few days if nothing exciting happens. But maybe something exciting will happen. Tomorrow I might be doing a late show, or I might not do a show at all on the Football Scientific. I'll be doing some shorts. But I may not do a full-length show. I'll be running a workout tomorrow evening, and I might be quite tired. But I might also just throw something together. So we'll see what happens. I thought about making some kind of video of running the workout, but I think it's not the right time. This is the first-time client, and maybe his parental types will not like it. And he's 7.5 years old. So I'm not sure if it would be a very entertaining video. Anyway, but wish me luck on that. Good luck on that. Thanks, Timmy. Good luck on that. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll put out some shorts with the IFL teams as we get ready for the start of the IFL. Woo-woo! IFL football. It's going to be exciting, yo. I already made my subscription to the Game Pass. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be a lot of cool games. So a little bit of money, $30, it's worth it to me. I think it'll be tough to talk about with the league. So hope you have a great night. Thanks for joining us for Football Scientific. Thanks for joining us, Timmy.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us, Tyler.
It's been great to talk about the Bengals.
Yes, it has. Okay. All right. And then check out UFL News Hub, CFL News Hub for articles. Check out my Substack. Subscribe to this channel. Like the video. Let's keep it going. Let's go, Football Scientific. What you gonna do when Football Scientific comes running after you?